Hi, I'm Shelley Wood, and this is my tiny sewing room where I make doll clothes sewing videos. Today I'm going to show you how to make a pretty pleated argyle skirt to fit 18-inch dolls like the American Girl dolls, the Adora Amazing Girls from Amazon, and similar sized dolls. But before we begin today's sewing project, please go to my website shelleywood.com to download and print these free printable PDF sewing patterns. You'll need to tape pattern 1 to pattern 2, and then you'll have to tape together all 4 of the ruffle or pleat area patterns. Now here's how to tape your patterns together. You'll find there's a little icon of a piece of tape, and you just put a piece of Scotch tape there. Use your pattern to cut out all the pieces shown. The ruffle is quite long. Create a casing in the top section of the skirt. Now, if you're unfamiliar with how to do a casing, I actually have a separate tutorial for that. So look in the description below this video on YouTube for my tutorial on how to build or how to create a casing. It's a pretty quick tutorial. Next, make a narrow double fold hem on the ruffle piece. Now mine is a 1/4 inch double fold hem. Measure your hemmed ruffle piece and place a straight pin along its unhemmed edge every 2 inches all the way to the end. Make your measurements very carefully, because if you're off by even a millimeter, it's going to matter. Fold the fabric between each pin and then pin it down at the exact middle. Now here's a video clip to show what I mean by this. So I've got yellow pins and red pins, and you can see I've finger pressed the middle point between the yellow pins. Now I'm going to fold it so that that middle point is up against the yellow pin, and then I insert the little red pin. It has a red little ball on the end of it to show that's where that pleat is going to be. Then I do it to the next one the same way. At the middle point, that middle point is where I'm going to put my red pin to show that's the middle between the 2 yellow pins. Hopefully that makes some sense, but I go over it again just in case. So once again, fold the fabric between each yellow straight pin, and at the fold's exact middle point, press the middle down next to the yellow pin and hold the fabric in place with the red pins. Now hopefully that made some sense. Once you've created a long line of these pleats, measure your line of pleats against the upper section or the top section of the skirt, the part you did the casing with. If their length does not match, you'll have to make adjustments, and this is actually pretty typical. You can see I had to make some adjustments. So if you're off by a millimeter, it's going to matter. Before attaching the length of pleats to the top, you should baste over the pleats horizontally or lengthwise, removing the straight pins as you go. So this will stabilize your pleats while you work with them. Press the pleats firmly with a hot iron. Spray starch can also help them hold their shape really well. Make a 1 centimeter or 1/2 inch long stitch down the top of each pleat, right along the edge of the fold from your base stitch down. This will help the pleat hold its shape even if you throw it in the washing machine. I love that about pleats like this. Here's how the pleats look after stitching. Now you're going to lay them upside down along the skirt's raw edge, matching up the unsewn edges and keeping right sides together. Notice that the casing we're sewing is down here where my finger's pointing. Stitch along this unsewn rough edge, attaching the ruffle to the rest of the skirt. And I'm using a backstitch here. If you would like to see my backstitch, it's in the description too. Flip the ruffle down and press. Cut a piece of elastic to fit your doll's tummy. Now different 18-inch dolls are different tummy sizes, so that's why I don't give you a measurement there. Attach a safety pin to one end of the elastic and then send the elastic through the casing on the skirt's top. So here we go through the casing, and notice when I get to the end of the elastic, I insert a straight pin there. And then when I get to the other end, I do the same thing. I insert a straight pin and then I can remove my safety pin. Notice how I use a straight pin to keep that elastic in place on each of the casing sides. That's how I hold the elastic in place for the next step. Fold the skirt in half with right sides facing. That means pretty sides touch pretty sides of the fabric, just like that. Okay, and now we're going to sew this very back closure area. Okay, so you sew a line from the elastic waist to the hem at the bottom of the pleats. Now you're ready to invert the skirt, which is what you'll see me doing right here. This is such a cute little skirt, and you know, it's a fairly flexible pattern to work with for your 18-inch dolls, I think. Now you're ready to try the skirt on a doll, and it absolutely is adorable on my, this is my Madame Alexander doll. For more free printable sewing patterns for making doll clothes to fit dolls of many shapes and all different sizes, yes, I've even got Barbie clothes, please remember to visit Shellywood.com. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my videos and my free patterns, please share them on social media. It actually helps my website grow when you help spread the word.